Mathematics learners, welcome to Distance Learning with Lee, where I make learning mathematics super easy. And on today's video tutorial, guys, we are going to be going through the grade 12 mathematics literacy paper 2 that was written in June 2021. And in this video tutorial, guys, we are going to be focusing on question 1. And question 1 covers conversions. We are going to be required to convert from a ton to kilograms. We are going to be required to convert from grams to kilograms, right? So it covers conversions, right? This question also covers having to calculate inflation. So we are going to be calculating inflation in this video tutorial, and we are also going to be calculating that, right? So please make sure that you watch this whole video tutorial. Before we get started, guys, please make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Please make sure that you engage with me in the comment section and just tell me how you found the video tutorial, guys. And also please make sure that you give this video tutorial a huge thumbs up, because that really helps the channel grow and it helps the channel reach more learners that want to better their mathematics marks. The plan is to get this video tutorial to 1,000 likes, guys, so please do not leave this video tutorial without clicking on that like button. Right, so without any further ado, guys, let us get started with this video tutorial. So guys, before we get started with the video tutorial, I'm just going to read the question for you guys. We're going to just analyze the table that has been given to us and just make sense of all the information that has been given to us, right? And then we are going to start answering the questions, all right? So let us read. All right. So let's start by reading the information that is given to us. So we are told that Aggie and 14 friends started a stock file in order to buy groceries, right? The grocery items bought will be shared equally among all the members of the stock file. Aggie sourced prices from 2 wholesalers, A and B, for the items they intend buying. Okay. Table 1 below shows the comparison of the prices excluding the VAT, okay, of items she needs to buy. Some values have been omitted. Okay, so we are told that, okay, this is the table, and this table basically shows a comparison, okay, of the prices between 2 wholesalers, being wholesaler A and wholesaler B. We are told that this table, right, when these prices, right, they haven't included the VAT. So VAT has been excluded, okay? And this table also shows the prices of the items at the wholesalers for the month of January 2020, right? So let us have a look at this table, right? So the items that Aggie buys, right, she buys cake flour, right, and 1 cake flour weighs 12.5 kg, right, and she buys 15 of those, okay? Aggie buys maize meal, right, and 1 maize meal weighs 5 kgs, and she buys 30 of those, right? She also buys rama, but with the rama, it comes in a packet. So 1 packet contains 48 ramas, right? Okay. And each of those ramas in that packet weigh 125 grams, right? And she buys 15 of those packets, okay? She also buys rice that weighs 10 kg, and she buys 15 rice, right? She also gets canned fish, okay? And with the canned fish, it's also like a package, okay? In each package, there are 12 cans, okay? And each can in that package weighs 400 grams, and she gets 10 of those. She also gets long life milk, okay? And it is also a package, okay, that has 6, right? So each package has 6 long life milk in it, and she buys 15 of those, right? And each milk is 1 liter, okay? And she also gets spice, right? And in those spice, it's also a packet, right? And in that packet, there's 10 spices, and each spice in that packet weighs 50 grams, right? And she gets 15 packets, all right? And obviously these are the prices, okay? So for the cake flour, if she buys 15 cake flours that weigh 12.5 kilograms at wholesaler A, it is 1,274 rand and 85 cents. And at wholesaler B, right, if she gets cake flour that weighs 12.5 kgs and she gets 15 of those, the total price for that will be 1,334 rand and 25 cents, right? So that is what this table basically means, okay? And we are told that, okay, to calculate the VAT is 15%, and like we see here, VAT hasn't been calculated, so we need to calculate the VAT, right? And then we are also told to note, right, the hashtag means that items that are VAT exempted. So when we see a hashtag, we see for the rice, that means that we do not calculate VAT for rice. We don't have to calculate VAT for rice because it has been exempted. Okay, so we don't have to calculate VAT for rice. We don't have to calculate VAT for the canned fish. We don't have to calculate VAT for the long life milk, right? So these 3 items, we don't have to calculate VAT for them because they have been exempted. Okay, and we're given how they convert liters to kilograms, right? We are told that 1 liter is approximately equal to 1 kg, right? So that is the information that is given to us, guys, right? And we need to use this information to answer all these questions that are given to us, right? So like it says here, let's have a look here. It says use the information in table 1 above to answer the questions that follow. Question 1.1.1 says write down how many cans of fish each member of the stockfile will receive. Okay, so then we go to the canned fish, right? We are told that, okay, each package has 12 cans, right? And she buys 10 of those, right? So we need to determine how many cans will each member get if they split the cans equally amongst themselves, okay? When we look at the information that we are given initially, okay, we can see that we've got how many members in the stockfile. We've got Eggy and 14 friends, right? So that tells us that this stockfile has 15 members, right? So we're going to write that down. Okay, so you're doing question 1.1.1, right? And we want to determine how many cans of fish each member of the stockfile will receive, right? So like I mentioned here, we know that there are 12 cans of fish per package. So we're going to multiply that by 10, all right? So we're going to say 12 cans of fish that you get in the package. You're going to multiply it by 10, right? And you're going to get your answer, okay? 12 times 10, guys, is equal to 120, okay? And for those that have trust issues, let's just do this for you guys, okay? Okay, so she gets 120 cans in total, okay? And now we need to split these 120 cans equally amongst all the members that are in the stockfile, right? So we said that the members that are in the stockfile is Eggy plus the 14 members, okay, which gives us a total of 15 members that are in the stockfile, right? So then we're going to take the 120 cans of fish and you're going to divide it with the 15 members, right? to get how many cans of fish each member will get. Okay, so 120 divided by 15, which is equal to 8. So each member will receive 8 canned fish or cans of fish. Okay, I'm just gonna write that. Each member. That time I was using a rule. Hectic stuff, eh? Hectic. My apologies. Okay, cool. Let's move on to question 1.2. So question 1.2 says that Aggie stated that she could load all these items onto her half-ton bakkie without overloading it. Nah? So now we need to verify, showing all calculations, whether her statement is valid. Okay, so we are basically told that Aggie's bakkie can only handle half a ton of a load. So that is what her bakkie can handle, half a ton of a load, right? So now we need to now calculate how much all these items will weigh, right? So we need to calculate the total weight of all these items, right? And then we need to compare it with how much Aggie's bakkie can take. Okay, so the first thing we need to do, we're going to calculate the total weight of all these items, right? Once we get the total weight, we already know that Aggie's bakkie can only take half a ton of a load, right? Then we're going to compare to see if this total load is bigger or smaller than what her bakkie can take. And if it is smaller, right, then we can confirm that, okay, then Aggie was right. Then all these items will be able to fit in her bakkie. And if it is bigger, we'll be like, no, okay, Aggie was wrong, right? All these items will not fit in her bakkie because it will be an overload. Okay, so the first thing we need to do, guys, let us get the total weight of all these items. So before we get the total weight of these items, there's something very important that we need to see, right? The units of our items are not the same. We've got kilograms here. Yes, we've got kilograms there. Yes, but we've got kilograms here. We've got kilograms here, but we've got grams there, right? So we need to convert those grams to kilograms so that we are able to add them together, right? Okay, we've got kilograms there. We need to convert those grams to kilograms. We need to convert that liter to kilograms, right? And we need to convert those grams to kilograms, okay? But before we get started, remember, guys, we went through a video together where I showed you guys how you convert from meters to kilometers to millimeters and whatever, right? But now in this video, I'm also going to show you guys another method that we can use, right, in order to help us convert from one unit or from a smaller unit to a bigger unit or from a bigger unit to a smaller unit, right? So for this example, right, what you guys need to know that to be able to convert from grams to kilograms, right, you need to know this diagram, okay? A ton is a bigger unit, okay? Kilograms are smaller than tons, okay? Grams are smaller than kilograms, okay? And milligrams are smaller than grams, okay? So if you want to go from a bigger unit to a smaller unit, you need to multiply by 1,000. Okay, so if you want to move from ton to kilogram, you multiply by 1,000. If you want to move from kilogram to grams, you multiply by 1,000. If you want to move from grams to milligrams, you still multiply by 1,000. So if you want to move from a smaller unit, a bigger unit to a smaller unit, right? Okay, we need to multiply by 1,000. Okay, and if you want to move from a smaller unit to a bigger unit, because the milligrams is smaller than grams, you need to divide by 1,000. If you want to move from grams to kilograms, you need to divide by 1,000. If you want to move from kilograms to a ton, you need to divide by 1,000, right? Okay, so that's your bigger unit, and that is your smaller. Okay, if you want to move from a bigger unit to a smaller unit, you times by 1,000. And if you want to move from a smaller unit to a bigger unit, you divide by 1,000. Okay, and writing these units, okay, in descending order, right? The ton is first, then it's kilograms, then it's grams, then it's milligrams. Okay, right. So now that we've sorted out these technicalities, we are more than ready to get started with converting these units into kilograms. Okay, so the first thing, guys, that we need to do, we need to convert this 125 grams of rama into kilograms, right? So we want to convert grams into kilograms. So what do we need to do? Okay, so we go to our diagram here. We want to convert grams into kilograms. So what do we need to do? Grams into kilograms. What do we need to do? We need to divide by 1,000. Okay, we need to divide by 1,000, right? So if we take 125 divided by 1,000, right? What is the grams of each pack of the rama? It is equal to 0.125 kilograms. Okay, let us convert our canned fish, the 400 gram canned fish, into kilograms. What do? We want to move from grams to kilograms. If you want to move from grams to kilograms, you're moving from a smaller unit to a bigger unit, so you need to divide by 1,000, right? So it's going to be that 400 divided by 1,000, which is equal to 0.4 kg. Okay, so that is 0.4 kg. Okay, and then we are told that 1 liter, remember here, we're given this additional information here. We are told that 1 liter is equivalent to 1 kg, right? So here we can just say 1 kg. Okay, so that is 1 kg. I'm actually going to write this here. So that's 1 kg, right? That is 0.4 kg. Okay, and that is 0.125 kg. Right, so we've converted all the grams into kilograms. Okay, and I feel like we're now more than ready to get started with calculating the total mass of all these items. Okay, and I also just forgot to do one more thing here, right? With the spice, right? Each packet of the spice weighs 50 grams, right? So we need to convert those 50 grams into kilograms. And remember, to move from grams to kilograms, we need to divide by 1,000, right? So we're going to take the 50, divide by 1,000, which is equal to 0.05. Okay, so we're going to write that down here, 0.05 kg. Okay, and now we are ready to get started with calculating the total mass of all these items. Okay, all right, so let's calculate the total mass of all these items. Okay, so with the cake flour, right, uegi needs to buy 15, right, cake flours that weigh 12.5 kgs, right? So with the cake flour, so 1 cake flour or 1 packet of cake flour weighs 12.5 kg, and she needs to buy 15 of those, right? And then let's have a look at the maize meal. Okay, she needs to buy 30 of those, and one weighs 5 kg. So 5 kg, and she needs, so one weighs 5 kg, and she needs to buy 30 of those. Can I get the total? Okay, let us have a look at the rama. Okay, with the rama, there is 48 in a packet. Okay, so there's 48 in a packet. So you're going to take the 48 in a packet, right? And each packet weighs 0.125 kg. Remember, we converted the 125 grams into kilograms, right? So you've got 48 in one packet, right? And then each one weighs, so each rama in that packet weighs 0.125 kg, right? And she needs to get 15 of those. Okay, we're going to get the equals there. So what you have, for example, you have like a packet of rama. Okay, and in that packet, you've got 48 of them, right? So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 48 of them, right? And each one of them, right, weigh 0.125 kg, right? So that is why we take the total that is in the packet and you multiply each and you multiply by 0.125 and you multiply by the total that the total quantity or the amount of packets that Uegi will buy. All right, so you've got a packet. Each packet has 48 ramas, right? And with that 48 ramas, one weighs 125 grams, which you've converted to 0.125 kilograms, right? And we need to multiply that 48 by 0.25 because each one in that packet weighs 0.125 grams. And then we need to multiply that by the amount of packets that she's going to buy, which is 15. So that is what I am doing there. Okay. And then let's have a look at the rice. With the rice, okay, one packet of rice weighs 10 kg, right? Weighs 10 kg, right? And she needs to get 15 of those. We're going to get the total there, right? The canned fish, same thing here. Each package has 12 cans, right? And each can weighs 400 grams. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take the 12, right? You're going to multiply it by, we converted it to kilograms, which is 0.40 kg. And you're going to multiply with the amount of packages that she buys, which is 10. You're going to get the total. Okay. And then let's have a look at the long life milk, right? So each package contains 6 boxes of milk, right? So it's got 6 boxes of milk, right? Each box of milk weighs 1 kg because we are told that 1 liter, remember we are told that 1 liter is equal to 1 kg. So we're going to times it with the 1 kg and you're going to multiply by how many packages she buys, and she buys 15. Okay, and let's have a look at the spices. With the spices, each packet has 10 spices, right? And each spice in that packet weighs 0.05 kg, right? And you're going to multiply by how many packets or packages she buys, right? And that is 15. Okay, so we're going to put down all these values and we're going to add them all together to get the total weight of all the items that Uegi is going to buy or intends on buying. Okay. Okay. And once we've basically calculated all these values, we are simply going to add them all together to get the total weight. So from here, guys, we have basically calculated the total weight of all these items, right, that Uegi intends on buying, right? And the total weight of all those items is 723 kgs, right? So now what we need to do, we were told that, okay, right, her Uegi's bakkie, right, can only take half a ton of the load. So we need to convert that half a ton into kilograms so that we are able to compare it with that value there. So how do we convert a ton into kilograms? What do? We go to our conversions, right? We want to convert a ton into kilograms, right? And to move from a bigger unit to a smaller unit, we need to do what? We need to multiply by 1,000, right? Okay, so we're going to take half a ton, which is 0.5 ton, right? And you need to multiply by 1,000 because you're moving from a bigger unit to a smaller unit. Okay, so you're multiplying it by 1,000 to get that. Okay, Aggie's Baki can handle 0.5 multiplied by 1,000, which is equal to 500 kilograms, right? So her Baki can only handle 500 kilograms, right? And we can already see a problem here that, okay, her items weigh, all her items weigh 723 kilograms. Her Baki can handle 500 kilograms, right? So this already tells us that her statement is invalid, right? Or incorrect, because she will overload her Baki. These items will not fit into her Baki because her Baki will become overloaded, right? So therefore, all right, therefore her statement is invalid. Aggie will overload her Baki. Okay, let us move on, guys. Okay, let us go to question 1.1.3. Determine, showing all calculations, which wholesaler A or B will be cheaper if she buys all the items including VAT from one wholesaler, right? So now what we need to do is we need to compare which wholesaler will be cheaper if we include the VAT. Okay, remember, with these items that Aggie intends to buy, VAT has not been included. So now we need to calculate the VAT for the items that we can calculate VAT on, right? And then compare and see which wholesaler will be cheaper. So which items can we calculate VAT on? Okay, we can calculate the VAT for the cake flour. We can calculate the VAT for the maize meal. We can calculate the VAT for the rama, right? We cannot calculate VAT for rice. We cannot calculate VAT for canned fish. We cannot calculate VAT for long life milk. And we can calculate the VAT for spice. So what we're going to do is we're going to add all the prices for the items that we can calculate the VAT on, right? And then calculate the VAT for the total of those prices, right? And then add the remaining prices for the other items, right? And we're going to compare which wholesaler is cheaper between the two. Okay. Okay. So we are just going to take the total, right? Total prices for all the items that we can calculate VAT on. So that's your cake flour, which is 1,274 Rand and 85 cents, right? So let me do that. Okay. So your cake flour, we're going to start with wholesaler A, which is 1,274 Rand and 85 cents, plus the maize meal, which is 689 Rand and 70 cents, plus 4,154.85, and plus 1,499.85 cents, right? And we're going to get the total there. Okay, 7,619.25 cents, right? So that is the total amount that we need to calculate the VAT for, right? So then we're going to take that 7,000, okay, 7,619.25 cents, and you need to calculate the 15% VAT for this total, right? So it's going to be Okay, the VAT amount is going to be the 7,619 Rand and 25 cents multiplied, right? What is the VAT amount? We told the VAT amount is 15%, right? So we multiply by what we want, which is your VAT, right? And because it's percentage, you're going to divide by 100. 15% is 15 divided by 100, right? To get your value. So it's 7619.25 times 15 divided by 100, which is equal to 1142.8875, right? So this is the VAT amount that was not calculated. This is the 15% VAT amount that was not calculated. So now we need to include it in our calculation. So how do we include it in our calculation, right? So now to get the total amount, right, that wholesaler A will charge, so the total amount that the wholesaler A will charge, including that 15% VAT, right, will be now all these values, including the VAT amount that we've just calculated of 1,142 Rand and 88 or 89 cents. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to take all the totals. We're going to add all of this together. We're going to add the VAT amount to get the total that wholesaler A charges. All right. So we can do it like that. So it's just going to be to get that wholesaler A, right? So that's the VAT amount. So I'm just going to put it here so you guys see what's going on. Okay, which is 1142.8. Just going to round it off to 89, right? To get the total amount that wholesaler A charges, which is 13051.34. Okay, so that's basically what we did. We took all the items that needed to be included when we're calculating the VAT, right? We added the prices for them, right? So we added the price for the cake, the maize meal, the rama, and the spice together, and we got a value of 7,619 Rand and 25 cents. And then we calculated the VAT amount using that amount, right? Okay, and we found that our VAT amount is 1,142.88 or 0.89 cents, right? And from there we included that amount in the space where VAT was not included, so that VAT is already calculated there. So we've already calculated the VAT, right? And then from there you just add all those values including the VAT, right, to get the total amount that the wholesaler A charges, including the VAT, right? Okay, so it's actually cool because for wholesaler B, it's already done for us. Okay, for wholesaler B, it's already done for us, right? So the total that wholesaler B charges is 13,102 and 40 cents, right? So they use the same method, okay, and they 15% VAT for all these items that you should calculate VAT on, amounted to 1,105, right? And then from here, guys, we can answer a question: which wholesaler, A or B, will be cheaper if she buys all the items including VAT from one wholesaler? So when we compare these values, which wholesaler is cheaper, guys? Wholesaler A is cheaper, right? So we've got 130 and we've got 131. So 130 is the cheaper amount, right? So wholesaler A is cheaper. Okay, I didn't have to do this because it was already calculated for us. So therefore wholesaler will be cheaper. All right, and guys, let's have a look at the last question. The food inflation rate was 5.17% in January 2021 and is estimated to be 5.3% in January 2022. Calculate the total amount for 5 kg of maize meal from wholesaler B at the end of January. Okay, so the food inflation rate was 5.17% in January, right, 2021, and is estimated to be 5.13% in January 2022. We need to calculate the total amount, right, for 5 kg of maize meal for wholesaler B at the end of January. So what would be the total amount of 5 kg of maize meal from wholesaler B at the end of January 2022 if we take into consideration these inflation rates? So let's first give a definition of what inflation is, guys, right? So what is inflation? Inflation is the continuous increase in the price of goods and services in an economy over a period of time. So that is what inflation is, right? It is the continuous increase in the prices of goods and services in an economy over a period of time. So to calculate how much will be the 5 kg maize meal from wholesaler B at the end of January 2022, we need to calculate the continuous increase starting from January 2020, right, moving on to January 2021, and then moving on to January 2022, right, to get how much it will be. So what do? So we look at wholesaler B, right? So with wholesaler B, how much is our 5 kg maize meal? It's 659 rand and 70 cents. It's 659 rand and 70 cents, right? So we need to start off by calculating the continuous increase of this maize meal starting from January 2021. Right? So what do we need to do here? We're going to take that 659 rand and 70 cents, and we're going to multiply it by the inflation rate for your January 2021. And the inflation rate for January 2021 was 5.17%, right? So you're going to multiply it by 5.17 because it's a percentage. You divide it by 100, you get your value. Okay. So 659.70 multiplied by 5.17 over 100. Okay, and that is 34. Okay, I'm going to write it here actually. That is 34 rand and 106 cents, right? Meaning the price of the maize meal at the end of January 2020, right, was 659 rand per 70, right? And then we had the inflation rate of 5.17% in January 2021, right? Okay, and that inflation rate of 5.17% resulted in an increase in 34 rand and 11 cents, right? Making the price of the maize meal at the end of January 2021 to be 659 rand and 70 cents plus this 34 rand and 11 cents, right? So 659.70 cents plus 34 rand and 106 cents, right, to give us a total of 693.806, right? Okay, so the price of maize meal in January at the end of January 2021, due to the inflation rate of 5.17%, right? Okay, resulted in the maize meal costing 693 rand and 81 cents, right? The inflation rate for January 2022 is estimated to be 5.3%, right? So we're going to go to January 2022. Okay, and the inflation rate is 5.3%, right? Okay, and then what do we do now? We're going to take that 693 Rand and 81 cents, right? 693.806 cents. And you're going to multiply with the inflation rate, which is 5.3 divided by 100, right? You're going to get your value. Okay, 693.806 multiplied by 5.3 over 100, which is equal to 36.772, right? So that is the inflation rate, right? In rands, right? And then you're going to just take the initial value of 693.806 plus it with the 36.772 to get the total amount for 5 kg of maize meal from wholesaler B at the end of January 2022, right? And if you punch that into your calculator, you'll find that the total amount will be 730.58 cents. All right, and guys, we are finally done with this video tutorial. All right, that is it, guys, and I'll see you guys on my next upload, Distance Learning with Lee, where I make learning mathematics super easy. Bye, guys.